Hey, what's up? What's up? Joe in Vegas back with another review. Keith Urban. So this is like my third or fourth time seeing him in as many years, probably. He had a residency at Caesars. I went to see it a few times there. Usually I got free tickets. I don't think I paid for it. But it's kind of weird how Caesars and Planet Hollywood work. They're all owned by Caesars. So Planet Hollywood is a bigger venue. I think there's like 6,000 or 7,000 seats. Coliseum smaller. I think it's 4,000 seats. But the Coliseum tickets, they charge more because it's more intimate, or they get bigger acts at least. So they bounce a lot of artists back and forth, I think, until they can find the right fit. Keith was at Caesars for a while, where the tickets are more expensive, but you don't have to sell as many. And I know the last time I saw him, it was there, and I got pretty good tickets, which tells me they were having struggle selling those high-priced tickets. So they moved him back down when they restarted the residency now to Planet Hollywood, which the tickets are much cheaper, but he sells more. So I think that's the math on how they do it all and how they figure out where to place somebody. But he is a pleasure, man. He was when I saw him, every time I saw him, I really enjoyed him. I didn't know too many songs, but again, I always say it with country. You really don't need to know a lot of songs with country because those songs are really easy to follow. His songs especially. His songs are very, not all of them. There's some ballads that are really well-written goods, but there's a lot of very radio-friendly, poppy country kind of songs. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're good. You know, pop country songs to me sound like Bon Jovi and that kind of era from the 80s. But the reason I went tonight, and it's kind of the reason I wanted to do the review, even though I just did one for him like a year ago, were the ticket prices. So just to share my experience, and maybe it'll help somebody with ticket prices. So I had plans last night to go to the Titanic thing, which I did, which is another review I put up already. If you want to go see that, you can go listen to that. It's a really interesting experience I had going there. But that afternoon, I just said, the Titanic thing's an hour. Let me see what's going on. Maybe I'll go to a show after. And I went on StubHub, and I looked up Keith Urban tickets, and they were $15. $15. So I thought, oh, shit, this guy's having a hard time selling Planet Hollywood. Maybe, his career's on the downslide. I started analyzing all this shit because that's how my brain works. The newer country stuff is like this Chris Stapleton, which is a real soulful, deep stuff. And Keith is very poppy, and maybe that's where country's turning. So for $15 a ticket, I'm buying two. I'm not even thinking twice. I'll go see anybody for $15 on a Friday night on the Las Vegas Strip at a big casino, for sure. So I bought the tickets, didn't think twice about it. I knew it was going to be a good show because I've seen him before. So we went. Seats were solid. We were in 207, not too deep, not too far back. So just solid seats. And he did exactly what I thought he would do and what I knew he would do. I'll go through the set list now. And just so you know, I was expecting to go in there and see an empty place because the tickets were so cheap. But no, it was pretty crowded. But it might be crowded because tickets were cheap. I don't know why. I don't know how. So there were a lot of tickets for sale between $15 and $30. So if you're going to Keith Urban, keep an eye on StubHub and those places the day of the show and see if you can get as lucky as I did, because I got really lucky. So let me go through the set list. Again, I don't know a lot of these songs, but they were all pretty catchy. Tumbleweed, Better Life, Wild Hearts, Where the Blacktop Ends, Cop Car, Days Go By, Fighter, which I think is that song with Carrie Underwood, Worry About Nothing, Without You, I Told You So. He did a Kiss a Girl, Bad Habits. It said Ed Sheeran cover. I don't remember that. Somewhere in My Car, Sweet Things. He did Sweet Thing. He did, I remember this from the last show. He's got a really talented band over there. Those guys are really talented, and there's a couple of them. I don't know if it's the guitar player or the bass player. He came out. He did a John Legend "All of Me" cover. It says Jerry, so I guess that's his name. He's got a hell of a voice. That guy's, and I actually remember him from the last show. And then another one of his guys, that might have been the guitarist, came out like on this DJ little instrument. It wasn't a turntable. I don't know what it was, and he did. God, I don't remember what song it was. It's not on the set list, but it was what song? I don't remember. But it was also one of these like covers of some song. It was good. It was entertaining. It was a good way to introduce the band. Then he did Long Hot Summer, which I believe is one of his bigger hits. One Too Many. And then he did, which is what he did last time. He goes into the crowd. He really goes into the crowd. He's a really good entertainer. First of all, he's a hell of a guitar player, and he's a hell of a vocalist, and he's got an incredible amount of energy at 50. He looks great. He sounds great. A lot of these country guys are just amazing entertainers. He is high-fiving the crowd. He is pulling people from the crowd on stage, making them feel like $1 million, making them feel special. And I remember last time when I went, we were right there in the pit, and he was high-fiving us. It's really cool. But there's one part of the song where he comes out into the pit, and there's a little platform, and now he's standing inside the crowd on a platform, and he does a couple songs. So he did, I think, actually, the one before, One Too Many, and then he did, and I remember this song from last time, You'll Think of Me. Great breakup song. Great breakup song. He did an intro, he covered the Miley Cyrus Flowers for like 20 seconds. But that was, it got the crowd going with that. But that You'll Think of Me is just a heck of a song. Then he did Someone Like You, which is one of his big hits too. And he did a little bit of Taylor Swift's Anti-Hero. And then he did Blue Ain't Your Color, which is his big ballad. Wasted Time, Making Memories of Us. And then he closed with Raise 'Em Up. Really solid show. There's not much I can say. I can't stretch this any more than I have to. He is a hell of an entertainer. If you get a chance to see him, even if you don't know the songs, go see him. He's just a very talented guy. There was one part in the show where he did a drum battle off with the drummer. So he's playing drums, he's playing guitars. Like I said, you could be sitting in the back of the room and you could see that smile. He's loving every minute of it. If he's not, he's a hell of an actor. Nicole Kidman's name shows up. I think I read that she popped in on Wednesday night, and I think she sang a song with him. So she pops in at a lot of shows. He did mention his daughter was there in the crowd. It's just, what's the word? It's not happy. It's a different word. It's healthy. It's like a healthy, happy show. It's fun. It's poppy. It's country. It's rock. It's got like everything you need. There's nothing bad about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it an 8. It's a solid 8. It's a solid at $15 a ticket, man. I bought 2 tickets to Titanic and 2 tickets to Keith Urban. The whole thing for 2 people was under $100 for the whole night. It's pretty incredible. You can't beat that anywhere in the world. So I can't say anything more than it's a great show. I highly recommend it. I've always recommended it. I recommend just about every country show. These country shows are really top-notch. They're well-produced, they're well-made, and they're a lot of fun to go to. And the crowds are always great. The crowds sing along. They know every word. And I'm going to keep going to country shows because I really enjoy them. And anytime, I don't know if I'll pay top dollar to see Keith Urban, but anytime I get offered comp tickets or find some cheap tickets on StubHub or something before the show, I'm going to always go see him because it's a slam dunk show. It's just such a great show. So 8 out of 10. Thanks for listening. If you've seen him, leave some comments, subscribe, and I will see you at the next show. Bye-bye.